If you see a vision in the back of your head of you making a lot of money, I'd say do whatever it costs to make that happen.
Hassan Malik, the founder of Faces of Agony, a fashion brand that turns raw emotion into wearable art.
I've kind of had actually multiple businesses while growing up. It all started during COVID. One of my first businesses was a marketing agency. My second business was honestly just reselling shoes, clothes on Facebook Marketplace.
I want to talk about your brand, Faces of Agony. How did that all start, and how old were you when you started it?
So it started back in grade 9, grade 10. I was really in fashion. So basically I came across a brand called Born From Pain. It was a brand celebrities like Drake wore. I kind of took inspiration from it. I liked the way they did their design.
Can you tell me your mindset at the time? Was it like, I got this, or I'm scared, or I'm too young when you were starting the business?
I kind of felt like if I really do mash those skills together, I feel like having a clothing brand can really be successful, especially during my age. You know, most kids, they're worried about their study or like going out with friends.
The fashion space is pretty crowded right now with lots of brands popping up. So what made you confident that Faces of Agony could really stand out? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the AI Parenting Institute. I'm your host, Rayan Ali. Today's guest is Hassan Malik, the founder of Faces of Agony, a fashion brand that turns raw emotion into wearable art. So, if you've ever felt that mix of fear and excitement when chasing your idea, this episode is for you. Hassan, thanks so much for being here, and welcome to the podcast.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So, Hassan, can you tell me, did you always have this entrepreneurial spark? Like when you were young, did you have a lemonade stand growing up, or is Faces of Agony your first real business?
I've kind of had actually multiple businesses while growing up. It all started during COVID. One of my first businesses was a marketing agency. My second business was honestly just reselling shoes and clothes on Facebook Marketplace and doing designing on the side. But other than that, yeah, Faces of Agony was my first successful business, I'd say.
Okay, Hassan, can you tell me who's been supporting you throughout this journey the most? Has it been your parents, friends, or are you pretty much learning on yourself?
Honestly, most of it was learning on myself. I did have a couple key people that did support me, like some friends and family. But overall, I did learn everything mainly myself.
Okay, I want to talk about your brand, Faces of Agony. How did that all start, and how old were you when you started it?
So it started back in like grade 9, grade 10ish. I was really into fashion and I still am. So basically I came across a brand called Born From Pain. It was a brand that celebrities like Drake wore and other celebrities too. And I kind of took inspiration from it. I liked the way they did their design and how they kind of implemented art into their pieces. So Born From Pain, I wanted something to do with pain. So I kind of chose the word agony and it kind of all just started from there.
Hassan, can you tell me your mindset at the time? Was it like, I got this, or I'm scared, or I'm too young when you were starting the business?
I think I definitely was scared, but I felt like if I could, put my skills together with my marketing agency that didn't really work out, my designing portfolio that didn't work out either. I kind of felt like if I really do mash those skills together, I feel like having a clothing brand can really be successful, especially during my age. Most kids, they're worried about their studies or like going out with friends, exactly. So like at the end of the day, I just felt like if I put my all into my business, it could definitely succeed.
Hassan, was money a concern in starting your clothing line? And what did your initial investment look like?
Money, yeah, actually, obviously, as a 15, 16-year-old, I wasn't even legally allowed to work till I was 16. So obviously, money was a little bit of an issue during that time. But I did hustle a little bit. Like I said, I had a Facebook reselling business. I'd resell
Yeah.
clothes, shoes, everything of that sort. And I did have my marketing agency. I had a couple clients, but it never really went through. But I did hustle, reselling the clothes and stuff like that, just raising money for my initial first investment of starting the business.
So you had a bit of like a cash lying around for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I was gonna ask where it came from, but yeah, it was just some marketing and reselling. Okay. So if I were starting a clothing brand tomorrow, I'd be sitting there wondering, how do I figure out the sizing, find suppliers, and set my price point? So can you walk me through how you handled all those early decisions?
I think one of the key things was social media because during that time when I was young, I did build up a lot of connections. I used to watch a lot of YouTube like any other kid does. And watching YouTube, obviously I wanted to learn how to make money.
Mhm.
And running a clothing brand I seen was something that wasn't too difficult to do, but you really did have to put an effort to be one of those people to succeed. So I think, yeah, definitely finding suppliers, manufacturers, any good connections, I think all came from social media and, just self research. I spent months researching on how to get the basic fundamental things going.
Mhm. So You told me before, but how did you come up with the name Faces of Agony? Since it's a pretty interesting one. And can you also tell me like what the who helped you design the logo or who designed the logo?
Yeah, for sure. So Faces of Agony was inspired from a brand called Born from Pain. Obviously, I don't want to replicate or copy everything from it. So agony means sort of like emotional distress or pain. And obviously, Born from Pain just means pain. So I wanted a little bit of a twist to it. So I guess agony means like emotional storytelling.
Mhm.
And for the logo, I did sketch it myself. I did sketch it out on a piece of paper one day in class. I took a picture of it. I took the paper home and I just kind of just worked on Illustrator and I created a whole new logo with it.
Now, where and how do you market Faces of Agony? And how did you land your first customer?
I think the way I actually landed my first customer is I wouldn't say he was really my first customer, but I would say he's like one of my first friends to actually get the hoodie.
Mhm.
So I got my first ever sample and I needed someone to model for it. I had a friend named Taz and he basically just kind of helped me start up from there. He helped me get the hoodie and everything. He kind of promoted it out there. I wasn't too known in school, but once he seen my hoodie and stuff, he kind of helped me first started going. But
Promote it, yeah.
yeah.
So the fashion space is pretty crowded right now with lots of brands popping up. So what made you confident that Faces of Agony could really stand out?
I think for sure it's authenticity, being different, being versatile, being yourself. Don't be copying every other brand. You see so many of these brands using the same font, same style of marketing, same kind of like all around brand image. No one really wants to buy it because it kind of gets repetitive. But
Yeah.
when you have authenticity into your own brand and work, it shows how much you can really do.
So every brand hits bumps. So what's been the hardest bump you've hit and had to overcome? And how did you push through it?
Definitely bumps was definitely just doing everything when it comes to operations, shipping, marketing, everything on my own. Obviously I did have a couple friends, that would model and here and that, but like definitely running operations on my own was definitely kind of hectic. So I'd say the operations side was definitely one of the main things.
So, can you walk me through how you manage both school and launching a product? Like, take me to back in the day when you woke up, went to school, came home, and then can you walk me through the rest of your day?
Honestly, when my brand first started and I started seeing sales, I honestly was not too focused during school. Like
Mhm.
school, I would leave to the side and focus my brand as like the main priority. I mean, I still did pass my classes, but school wasn't my biggest priority. But towards the end of grade 12, I did finish all my classes and graduate. But yeah, I think my brand was just the main priority because I didn't want to be inconsistent.
When you design something, how do you know what's actually good versus something you personally like? Do you test it with friends first?
Honestly, I kinda just see it my own way, like, would I buy my own product? And
Mhm.
if I wanna buy my own product and I like the way it turns out, like, oh, if I seen a brand called Faces of Agony sell this and I'd wanna buy it, I feel like other people would wanna buy it too. People who are into fashion, into the fashion scene, definitely have similar mindsets, and I feel like after my first kinda check and approval by myself, I definitely put it out there and do some sample testing, see what people like, see what people don't like, and see if I should keep it and put it.
Who's a brand you look at and think, whoa, I want to get there one day? Can you tell me what you think they did right?
One brand I definitely think did stuff right is obviously the brand I was inspired from, Born from Pain. They did have a lot of, I guess I'd say, versatile artwork, versatile marketing, something that's always different, not like other brands. And, I also look up to other brands too, but definitely I think that was my main one that kind of gave me inspiration. And, one day I want to be like them. Like, you see all these stores like Nike, Adidas, and all
Yeah.
these big brands.
Mhm.
So obviously, I just want to do something different, not like everything else.
But you want to get to that level.
Yeah, I want to get to that level
Mhm.
exactly.
Everyone's talking about AI taking over creative industries. As someone building a fashion brand right now, what do you think about that? Does it worry you, or are you using AI towards your advantage?
Honestly, I think AI is a great tool. I don't use it. I don't think of it as AI as like a competitor because people could use AI to create designs, brands, and all of that for sure. But one thing you gotta realize is, AI, it's not authentic. It's not human made.
Mhm.
Eventually, people will be like you see all these AI videos on the internet.
Yeah,
And
you can quickly
sometimes
tell that they're AI.
Yeah, exactly, and sometimes you can definitely tell it's AI, like, it's not genuine. But when you have something that's genuine and that's made from hard work, I feel like that matters so much more. But AI is also a great tool for back-end operational things,
Mhm.
like managing sales,
Yeah.
shipping, everything in the back end. I definitely use AI to automate my business.
Your next drop, Despair Sets, is dropping tomorrow on November 14th. So, can you tell me the story behind that?
Well, despair is just another way of saying agony, like, being in pain, emotional distress. So I think that's what kind of inspired that. And I think the drop is gonna do amazing, honestly. Like it has black on black rhinestones, distressed embroidery. We have like multiple details in the hoodie, so I think it's
Mhm.
just gonna be amazing.
What's next for you? Are you planning to go to college or uni, or is Faces of Agony becoming your full time focus?
I think I'm definitely gonna go to college. I'll continue going to college, but on the side, I will continue Faces of Agony. And one day if I'm making enough, from the brand and everything, I'm making a pretty decent amount right now. But if I am doing enough, I will definitely, definitely just do it full time from then on.
Yeah, like you said before, you want to like pursue the business over school slightly more.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
So, if another teen has an idea but is scared to start, what would you tell them based on what you learned from Faces of Agony?
I definitely think that like if you see a vision in the back of your head of you, making a lot of money, you making something out of yourself, I'd say do whatever it costs to make that happen. Cause you're only young once, like you said, a teenager, right? You're only young once. You don't get that time back. Like you don't get the amount of free time you have when you're in your 20s or 30s
Mm,
or 40s, only worrying about bills and everything like that. You don't have the time. Time is something you can never buy? So I think that's a really important lesson for people to learn. Don't waste your time. And if you could put something to your mind, bro, you can do it. Like it does not matter. You can always achieve something if you put your mind to it.
Thank you, son. That conversation hit different. Hearing how Hassan built Faces of Agony from nothing, the risks, the first sale, the sleepless nights, it's all a reminder that creativity doesn't wait for the right time. So, if you're sitting on an idea, this might be your sign to just start. Once again, I'm Rayan, and I'll see you in the next episode.